Hello and welcome to the next Lukozer retro game review video. Before I start, um, today is the day that we had the first teaser trailer and title of Star Wars Episode 9. Let's see how many of those Star Wars is dead to me fucking pricks actually stick to that, shall we? My money's on it being fuck all none of them. Anyway, this one then is Haunted House, which is for the Atari VCS. This came out in early 1982, and in a slight departure from the previous 5 VCS games that I've reviewed. This one's an original, it's not a coin-op conversion. And I don't know for sure, but I think this game, I think it uses the same engine as Adventure. It was clearly influenced by Adventure. It's a similar idea. It's, I guess, the Atari VCS equivalent of an arcade adventure game. Now there are 9 game variations on this. For the first go here, we'll stick with version 1. The first variant is very easy, but it'll give you an idea. So here we go, get the game underway. So you are these pair of eyes, and the idea of the game is that you have to make your way around the haunted house, and you need to find, as I've gone up a level, let's go back to the first floor again, you need to find the various pieces of this magical urn. But as you can see, the whole house is in total darkness, so what you need to do is light a match and you get yourself some light to see where you are going. Voila! And there is a piece of the urn right in front of me, so I'll pick that up. Now the urn, as I say, is in 3 pieces. You need to find all of them, and then you bring it back down to the first floor, and you place it. Oh, that was another one there, but my match went out. And then you have to place it in this alcove here on the bottom floor. So I've already got 2 of the pieces. Let's go up to the next floor, see if the third piece is up around here. So you can see sometimes these side areas here, they have stairs that allow you to go either up or downstairs. This one doesn't have one. In other game variants, as I've just picked up the scepter, well, I'll keep that for the moment. In other game variants, there are locked doors which you can't get through unless you have the master key. If I just okay, you'll notice now I don't lose a life when I'm around these things. That's what the scepter does. It's like a protection. I put a lit a match, but then the wind blew and blew it out again. Anyway, I don't really need the scepter for the first game variant. The first variant is so easy. So I now just need to find the third piece of the urn. So the wind has come along and blown out. That's why it did. The ghost is around here. There's okay. So I've now got all 3 pieces of the urn. So I didn't even go up to oops, no, don't want that. I want to keep the urn. I didn't even go up to the top floor. The haunted house itself has 4 floors, and we head to the alcove, and there you go. That's the adventure done. So my score is 8 with 8 lives remaining, which is actually I cannot I don't know if that's a good score or not. back in the day, I didn't really pay a great deal of attention to the score. It was always just a case of did I actually, finish the adventure or not. We'll start another go on the 0, or variant 1 rather. Fucking hell, I've already picked up a piece of the urn here as well. I didn't expect it to be so quickly finding it. So I've got 2 pieces of the urn. I just need the middle bit. So we are on the 3rd floor. The 4th floor, there it is, has the yellow background. The location of the pieces of the urn are completely random. You do not know where they are going to be. Oh, well, I've got the scepter again. I don't really want that though. I think that's going to... notice it's back up the top floor and I just managed to avoid them. Fucking hell. They're all up here. So obviously the various things that haunt the house, you have the ghost, you have the giant tarantula, there it is, and you have the vampire bat. Yeah, that's all of them. In other game variations, there are, I think, 3 tarantulas instead of just the 1. Right, well, the last piece of the urn is certainly not on the top floor anyway. Let's see if it's on the 2nd floor. I have a feeling it is, because I'm playing variant 0, so I am playing the easiest version. The urn is not going to be too difficult to find and put together. You do have to have the your torch, your lit matches, but there is a unlimited amount of them, so you shouldn't have any trouble finding the things. So there's a scepter again. Don't need that. Well, it doesn't look like it's on the 3rd floor. I don't think it's on the 2nd either. Let's see if it is somewhere around on the 1st floor then. Yes, there it is. So in fact I could have found the whole thing without fucking leaving the 1st floor. So there we go. My final score then is 12 with 9 lives. 9 is the number of lives you have. I'm sure there's some, connotation there. I think it's meant to be some sort of witch's cat connotation or something, oh, you got 9 lives. Yeah. Right, well, let's change the game version to version 4. Now, version 4, the walls are completely dark. The walls aren't lit now. And the doors will open and close, so you can't see very far behind or ahead of you when you approach the door. And that door is locked. So in order to get out of that door and that one, you need the master key. Now on game version 4, the master key could be anywhere. On game version 3, the master key is on the 1st floor, but it's in the room you started. So let's take a look on the 2nd floor. Alright, so, oh, you fuck. So I was about to get that piece of the urn. There we go, so I have got it now. I'll get through that. So there's 1 piece of the urn left. I'm coming up against a lot of locked doors. And also my matches don't last very long. Okay, let's head up to 3rd floor then. That door wasn't locked. There's nothing here. back to level 2, but I think we're approaching, yeah, this is an area of the second floor that I couldn't get around because, yeah, the entrance to there is locked. Alright, so that's one life lost. Can't get up there through that door. Get through there. Now there's the scepter, which is handy. In this game variant anyway, the scepter's a lot more useful here than it is in variant 1. But, well, I'll stick with carrying the urn around, but I don't think I'm going to get much further, so let's go back up to the second floor. Still can't get around. Of course, it would help if I could find the master key. Let's go up to the third floor. That's locked. That's not. That is, okay, does that. It takes us back down to the second floor again. And now we're right back to the bloody first floor. Well, let's see if we can. No. I was going to say, let's see if we can get to the fourth floor. Okay, let's see if we can find a way through here. That's back down again. And that door's locked. I have no idea where the fucking master key is. So we're over on this side. So yeah, a lot of areas I can't get around. Oh, here we are. Alright, so we are now on the top floor. Now I have a funny feeling the master key is on the top floor. You may notice, yeah, the game does make you jump a bit sometimes. This is about as close to being scary as it is, although the game does, it was marketed as being a scary game. I think they're being a bit ambitious with the description there. Alright, let's head down to level 3. Aha! The final piece of the urn. Oops, alright, now let's see if we can get out. Bollocks, that's taking us back up. There's the master key there, but now I don't need it. That's just the alcove. Ah, fuck it. Right, well, let's... oh, for fuck's sake. So we're on to the third floor. We need to get down to the bottom floor now and hang on, no, let's see. We're gonna have to try and get around it. There we go. Right, so third floor. We want to try and get to the bottom floor here. Right, so on the second floor now. Ah, fuck off. There we go, right, so we're on to the first floor. So we've nearly finished it, and then that fucker comes along. Oh, fuck off. And there we go, so. We finished game variant 4, 21 points and 3 lives. Actually, for game variant 4, that's not bad for me. I've never been that great at this game, although of all the games I had, this was the one I played the least. I know I was saying in Asteroids, I didn't say it very clearly, of all the coin-op conversions that I had, that was the one I played the least. But of all the Atari games I had in general, this is the one I played the least. That's not to say that I think the game is shit though. So let's go back to an easy one. We'll go back to variant 1. So at least that way you can see the background. And let's get the review underway. So graphically, yes, it is staggeringly basic, but I think that is because, like I said near the start, I think this game uses the same game engine as Adventure, and that one was quite simple. But it was simple but extremely effective. I thought Adventure was fantastic. Obviously not graphics wise, but gameplay wise, yeah, I thought it was fucking spot on. I was a big fan of it. In terms of the audio, you certainly couldn't say it's a scary game, for fuck's sake. It does make you jump, especially in the later games where, you know, you're surrounded by total darkness, you open the door and suddenly, you know, you get the losing a life because one of the monsters is behind the door. But I mean, the audio is adequate. I can't really say it's anything more than that. I wouldn't say the audio is fantastic, but it does what it needs to do and doesn't really do anything more than that. Fuck off. So the ghost, when it spots you, really does make a beeline for you. The ghost can also get through locked doors if you're playing this on playing version 1. I cannot find any fucking parts of the I can't find any versions of the any parts of the fucking of the urn anywhere. Fucking shy stuff. So, onto gameplay. I mean, yes, it's very simple. You know, it's not going to win any prizes for, you know, the complexity or anything like that. Alright, so I found one piece here, and it looks like they're all on the 4th floor. Yeah, so what, 2? And now I picked up the scepter, which I don't really want. I don't need it now. And there you go. Right, so that's the urn put together. Let's get down to the 2nd floor. Get away from the vampire bat and into the alcove. There we go. So yeah, the gameplay is fairly simple. It doesn't have anything like the it doesn't draw you in anything like as much as Adventure did. I mean, it's certainly not anywhere near as good as Adventure. Whether you've played this or not, I think you can quite clearly see that it's not as good as that. I don't think it's a bad game, but yeah, it doesn't sort of draw you in, doesn't grab your interest right from the start. And once you realise that, well, for one thing, the playing area is quite small. You know, there's only 4 floors no matter which game version you're playing. So the only variant, you know, the only sort of real variation there is yeah, whereabouts it's going to randomly put the pieces of the urn. Yeah, things like, you know, finding the scepter, which makes you immune to the various creatures that are in the haunted house. yes, okay, that is handy, but a lot of the time you either find it far too late, in which case there's no point to it. Right, there we go, so that's 2 pieces found. Or you're just wandering around with it and then nothing crops up, because you may have noticed also that because of the number of you know, the actual monsters or whatever in the game, there aren't a huge number of them. 4 floors, there's only 3 monsters. At most there will be 5. There we go, so I found everything. Oh, and then there you go, I picked up the scepter, but I don't need the scepter now. Can I get down there? No. And there we go. So yeah, I scored this game 6.5 out of 10. It's okay, but it doesn't have a lot of long-term lastability. It's not going to give, you know, it's not going to keep bringing you back to play it again. Well, unless you go a very long time without playing it, like I have here. Yeah, it's of all the Atari games I had, this was the worst. But still, I mean, 6.5 out of 10. I'm certainly not saying the game is shit. And if you play it on game variant 9, yeah, you will find it quite tough going. That's the variant where, yeah, you have to lock doors. You can't see where the you can't see the walls of the haunted house. If you lose a life, you lose all of the pieces that you are holding, and they are not sent back to where you picked them up. They're sent back to another random part of the haunted house. And there are 5 monsters lurking around the house: the ghost, the vampire bat, 3 tarantulas, and also the scepter protects you from the tarantulas and the vampire bat, but it does nothing against the ghost. The ghost will still be able to get you. So yeah, I mean, if you want a bit of a challenge, and you know, you fancy trying out, you know, the variant 9, it's probably worth a stab or two. But if you didn't have this game back in the day, there's probably not much here to you know, make you think, yeah, this is one I want to try. So there you go, that is Haunted House for the Atari VCS. 6.5 out of 10. Not terrible, but nothing remarkable here. That brings this review to an end, and we'll see you at the next one.